Radhey Radhey. Over the last so many lectures, the consistent theme of all the talks that I have shared with you all is the pursuit for lasting happiness. This has been kind of the consistent theme throughout. And in finding out how we can reach or how we can attain that state of lasting happiness, which is the very quest of the soul, we learned that all the scriptures from the Vedas, the Ramayana, including the great writings of the saints, they tell us over and over again that the only way to reach that happiness, which is synonymous with God, is through love. Love is the only means to reach that goal of perfection. However, you will be surprised to hear this, that it is impossible to love God. Now, you may wonder, if we should not love or worship God, then whom should we worship? Now, most definitely, this is a natural question. It is a natural question, no doubt. But let me clarify the answer to you. You see, it is impossible to love God. Why? Because according to the Bhagavatam, God has 6 attributes. Aishwarasya samagrasya dharmasya yashasah shriyah Jnana vairagya yoshchaiva sharnam bhaga iti rana. The God that people worship is the Supreme Almighty Lord Himself, the all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-majestic. He is the governor, creator, and sustainer of the entire universe. Everything about Him is infinite. He is omnipotent and omnipresent, and there's nothing or no one greater than Him. This is what the Bhagavatam tells us. So what are those 6 attributes? God possesses 6 opulences: infinite splendor, endless righteousness, eternal fame, divine luxury, infinite knowledge, and vairagya, which is detachment or renunciation. The point being that where there is almightiness, there cannot be love. Let us try to understand through Arjun's life. You see, Arjun was terrified when Sri Krishna revealed his almighty form to him. Although Arjun had himself wanted to see this form of the Lord, he was struck with amazement and started trembling with fear upon seeing the infinite form of the Lord touching the sky, possessing infinite mouths and eyes. So magnificent was this form of the Lord that it seemed to be without any beginning, middle, or end. Arjun begged Sri Krishna to resume his form as a friend and not as a ruler of innumerable Brahmans or planetary systems. We see even in the world that a poor and ugly man does not dare to even think of marrying someone rich and beautiful. then how can we ignorant beings of this world ever hope to establish a friendly or even a loving relationship with the omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient Lord who can create innumerable Brahmans by merely smiling and causing their dissolution by holding his breath? How could we possibly dream of establishing a relationship with the Almighty Lord? How is it possible for us ignorant, insignificant living beings to love such an Almighty God? It is not possible. Let's understand through another account from our history. Once the Supreme Lord descended on this earth as Narsingh, half man and half lion, in order to kill the demon Hiranyakashipu. After the task was completed, the gods thought it a matter of courtesy to express their gratitude to the Lord for this favor that he had done for them. Seeing the angry and fearful form of Lord Narsingh, not a single one of them had the courage to approach him. Neither Indra, the god of heaven, nor Saraswati and Brihaspati, the topmost heavenly authorities on knowledge, nor Brahma, the creator, nor Lord Shiva, who can destroy the universe by opening his third eye. Not a single one of them was willing to be the first to approach the Lord Narsingh. Well, you can hardly blame them. Imagine which one of us would have the courage to walk up to a lion. An ordinary lion is enough to scare us out of our wits. Then what to say of the Supreme Lord, with a lion's face, who is roaring and whose eyes are burning with rage? So the gods were not to be blamed. Yet, what was the solution? Seeing their predicament, Prahlad, who was a mere child at the time, he was only 5 years old, and a great devotee of the Lord, agreed to be the leader. He went toward God fearlessly, and in fact smilingly, with all the gods following close behind him. When Lord Narsingh saw Prahlad, he picked him up and put him in his hands, on one of his hands. He put the other hand on his head and started dancing out of joy. The gods heaved a sigh of relief. Seeing the Lord calm down, no one was afraid any longer. Now the point here is that it is impossible for us to love God the Almighty, and yet we can attain Him by loving Him. We can attain God by loving Him. So the Almighty God, who is impossible to reach, can be easily reached and attained through love. Now, how is this possible? I will explain in my upcoming lectures. Shrimat Sadguru Sarkar ki jai, Shrimat Yugal Sarkar ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.